A very good afternoon. You're watching the midday news on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Ashwarya Kapoor with you. Let us start the news bulletin with the top headlines. Rajya Sabha adjourned for the day over Rafale and Kaveri issues. Chairman informs House about his findings on Rafale protests in the House. Concludes that Minister Vijay Goyal's statement that he did not name Rahul Gandhi is correct. Lok Sabha adjourned till 2 p.m. after protests over proposed dam on the Kaveri River and Rafale deal continue. Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad is slated to move a triple talaq bill for consideration. Convicted in the 1984 anti-Sikh riots, former Congress leader Sajjan Kumar seeks 30 days to surrender, moves application before the Delhi High Court to appear in court for the second riots case on 22nd of January 2019. NITI Ayogs national strategy pitches health reforms, calls for priority operationalization of 1,50,000 health and wellness centers under Ayushman Bharat program by 2022-23. And concerns over Donald Trump's decision to withdraw U.S. troops from Syria, American lawmakers, including Republicans and foreign powers, say the move could lead to a resurgence of the Islamic State terror group. First up, news on winter session of Parliament and Rajya Sabha has been adjourned for the day again today. Soon after conducting a formal business, the chairman made an announcement over the episode involving Congress leader Anand Sharma and MOS Parliamentary Affairs Vijay Goyal. The chairman informed the House that he has gone through the records and that the formal statement made by Vijay Goyal is correct. He said the statement by Vijay Goyal is correct. The said episode is in connection with the protest on the Rafale deal.
On 18th December 2018, when the House reassembled after lunch, Sri Anand Sharma, while raising a point of order under Rule 238, submitted that on checking the records, he found that morning, while leader of the opposition was speaking about the privilege notices, the Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs referred to Sri Rahul Gandhi, who is the Congress president but a member of the Lok Sabha, and asked him to apologize. Yesterday, that is 19th December, when the House met Sri Vijay Goyal, Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, while pointing out to allegation made by Sri Anand Sharma, submitted that he had nowhere referred to Rahul Gandhi in his submissions made in the House on 18th December 2018, and Sri Anand Sharma has misread the House. He demanded that Sri Anand Sharma should withdraw his words and those words to be removed from the official records of Rajya Sabha. I had then said that I will go through the records. I have carefully gone through the debates of the Rajya Sabha of 18th December 2018 and found, as per the records, nowhere Sri Vijay Goyal, Minister of State for Parliament Affairs, in his submission referred to Rahul Gandhi. Therefore, the what is this? What is it? Unnecessary controversy ko mat badhaiye. I want to put the record straight and leave it there. If you want to just prolong it, therefore the averment made by Sri Vijay Goyal are correct.
But soon after the chairman's statement, there were protests by various members over the Rafale issue and the Kaveri issue, and following this, the chairman adjourned the House for the day.
Honorable members, the entire country is watching us. There are many issues which are pending before the House. Important bills are there. Important bills are there. We have to discuss about cyclone. We have to discuss about there are notice also about Rafale. The House is, we can discuss about Rafale also. The government also has no objection. The government also has no objection to discuss about Rafale. They have given in writing. So we can discuss on Rafale. We can discuss on agriculture. We can discuss on price rise. We can discuss on this Mekadatu. We can discuss on even cyclone also. Please cooperate. This is not the way. This is not the way. I am telling you. The entire country is very much really agitated the way the House is functioning. The House stands adjourned to meet at 11 a.m. tomorrow, 21st.
Our colleague Akhilesh Suman is now joining us live from Parliament. Akhilesh, it's for the 7th consecutive day that the proceedings in the Rajya Sabha have been washed out due to disruptions over various issues, including the Rafale deal as well as the Kaveri River issue. Indeed, you have been pointing out, that it seems that the members are in more of an election mode rather than a discussion mode.
Right. Right, Aswara. Today also I talked to many of the Congress members who are coming out of the Rajya Sabha at gate number 12, and again and again I asked that when the government is ready for debate, what is the problem in going for the debate? So their simple answer is that the House seems will not run for this session. So the hints are very clear that they want to make it an issue for the coming general election in 2019, and that is why opposition hell bent. And the other buzz is around also about the question of Gathbandhan and Mahagathbandhan. So that everyone is trying to show their own political agenda that they will portray outside the House, and that buzz is also there, that which party will ally which party. So the mood of the Parliament and what I am feeling especially in Rajya Sabha, that mood has come on this election, and they have got an issue like Rafale, and that they want to keep it alive for coming days. Though after Friday the House will not be in function because of the Christmas holiday for next 5 days. So maybe that if government will try to reach out to the opposition, and opposition also rethinks about their own strategy, because the message is going loud and clear, as chairman is also pointing out that people of India are watching Rajya Sabha, and they are watching that how proceedings are being stalled, and major issues like floods, natural calamities, the question of farmers, because question of farmers has become very important after the Congress has declared the loan waiver for some time for Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. So many members want to raise the overall issue of farmers, not the window dressing about one issue or the another issue. And also chairman hinted that the government has given in writing that they want to discuss the issue of Rafale. So that is why he is trying to hint to the opposition that see, the whole country is watching, the whole electoral, your own electoral are watching that how you are not ready to discuss important issues. So I think that I just can hope against the hope that if they can review their whole strategy, their whole floor coordination in next after Saturday for next 5 days. So it will be interesting to see that what happens after December 26.
Absolutely, stay with us. Akhilesh will come back to you. The stalemate will continued in the Lok Sabha as well. Once again, the proceedings were disrupted as soon as the House met for the day. The Speaker adjourned the House first till noon and later till 2 p.m. amid sloganeering and protests by the members over Rafale and other issues. However, amid protests, the government managed to seek Parliament approval for an additional net spending of the lower house is slated to take up the bill to make the practice of triple talaq among Muslims a penal offence, which was introduced in the House on Monday. The bill seeks to protect the rights of married Muslim women and to prohibit divorce by pronouncing talaq by their husbands. Let's go back to our colleague Akhilesh Suman. Akhilesh, similar protests are really being seen in Lok Sabha as well. And this despite, the Speaker rejecting AIADMK's plea for an adjournment to motion on Kaveri water issue. The protests there are continuing as well, and very important today it is because, the Law Minister is going to move the triple talaq bill for consideration. So whether that happens or not, we'll have to wait and watch after 2 p.m.
Right, Aishwarya, because in between, the Finance Minister Arun Jaitley wanted, grant or permission from Lok Sabha to withdraw 15,000 crore rupees from the National Exchequer for spending for the next months. So it was introduced. So it is in a way that it was an important business because government needs money for running the necessary expenditure. One thing. Second thing, Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley also could introduce the company's amendment bill. So some discussion may happen after 2 p.m. Also, it will interesting to see that how House is in order or House is not in order. But here also another buzz I could feel that Telugu Desam party, which is again and again asking for special status for Andhra Pradesh. Telugu Desam party demonstrated outside the house today, and also the rival YRSP, they also demonstrated. So in the house, the buzz is also about Rafale and other issues, and Telugu Desam issues like Andhra Pradesh issue, and outside the house, Lok Sabha, the issue of special status to Andhra Pradesh is there. So amidst all these issues, when all these issues converge, it becomes very difficult to run the business. But the way yesterday the bill was passed about surrogacy bill, so I think today also if some bill like company amendment bill is coming, maybe the members allow the bill be passed. So it is very interesting time after 2 p.m. in Lok Sabha, Aishwarya.
Right. Thank you so much, Akhilesh, for all those updates there from Parliament. And the centre has said that it is making all efforts to bring back people involved in financial irregularities to the country. In a written reply in the Lok Sabha on Wednesday, MOS External Affairs VK Singh said that the efforts are being made through lookout notices, a red corner notice and extradition requests. The minister also listed 29 people, including Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi, as those involved in the financial irregularities as per the details provided by the CBI. He added, according to the information provided by the ED, there are 41 people involved in financial irregularities who have fled the country, including Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi, and 5 persons, including Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi, were found involved in various violations of the Customs Act 1962, according to the information given by Directorate of Revenue Intelligence. The minister also informed the House that action under the Fugitive Economic Offenders Act 2018 has also been initiated in suitable cases. Meanwhile, in related news, the CBI arrested 10 people for alleged misuse of letter of undertakings worth 9 crore rupees in the Punjab National Bank's Brady House branch in Mumbai. The 10 people who were arrested include 8 PNB officials and the 2 directors of a Mumbai-based private firm. In the month of March, the CBI had filed a case pertaining to the fraudulent issuance of LOUs amounting to 9 crore rupees to Chandri Papers and allied products by the PNB's Brady House branch. All the arrested accused have been sent to police custody till 21st of December. On to some other news, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu interacted with the members of a Student Legislative Council from IIT Madras today. And during the interaction, the Vice President praised the election process adopted by IIT Madras, where every student contesting the student body election prepares a one-page manifesto and holds snap box meetings with the students to their agenda. The Vice President also said that public representatives must represent the voice of people in legislatures, and representatives are needed to understand the growing aspirations of the youth.
I suggest that IITs and other institutions, students must be encouraged to interact with the rural people. They should know the life of the people in the rural area. It will also help students to develop empathy and compassion and eventually make them better human beings. You need to end the urban-rural divide. Even after so many years, we have 20% poverty, 20% illiteracy, and you have gender discrimination here and there, and you have some social discrimination here and there. Maybe small in number, but they are sending a wrong message to us, to the international community. So we have to take care of those aspects and at the same time move on.
Policy think tank NITI Ayogs estimates that the Indian economy will be worth over $4 trillion in 2022, the year when our republic turns 75. Now, these encouraging claims come in the NITI Ayog's document, Strategy for New India at 75, that was unveiled by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley yesterday.
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley released the strategy for New India at 75 prepared by NITI Ayog on Wednesday. Addressing the event, Finance Minister Jaitley said that the present model of economic development aims to allow the private sector to grow, achieve faster growth and make higher utilization of resources. Targeting the opposition, Jaitley also said that sound policy, not slogans, will help in alleviating poverty and fulfilling the aspirations of the people.
These programs go on at a fairly rapid speed. We can see the effect of the change. And the change itself has been instrumental in raising the level of popular aspirations. So the aspirations are growing, people are becoming more impatient, they want things to happen faster. And therefore, if you look at the various verticals in which the NITI Ayog's proposal for a strategy for New India, it really encompasses all areas.
The strategic document lays down a multi-pronged strategy to promote overall development of the country and accelerate growth to 8 to 9%. India will turn 75 on August 15, 2022. The development strategy includes doubling of farmers' income, boosting Make in India, upgrading the science, technology and innovation ecosystem, and promoting sunrise sectors like fintech and tourism. It also aims to make India a $5 trillion economy by 2030. It plans to steadily accelerate the GDP growth rate to achieve a target of 8% during 2018 to 2023. As per estimates, this GDP growth would raise the economy's size in real terms from $2.7 trillion in 2017-2018 to nearly $4 trillion by 2022-2023. It also estimates the growth rate to reach 9 to 10% by 2022-2023. The document also calls for expanding the scope of the Swachh Bharat mission to cover initiatives for landfills, plastic waste and municipal waste and generating wealth from waste.
This government has been on outcomes. It does that monitoring based on outcomes, and it has laid down those documents. So everything, every resource is measured on the basis of outcomes delivered, and it's a constant regular monitoring on a dashboard, and we'll be very delighted to take you through that dashboard.
The strategy for New India at 75 document has been prepared after extensive consultations with over 800 stakeholders from within the government at the central, state and district levels. The 41 chapters in the document have been disaggregated under 4 sections: drivers, infrastructure, inclusion and governance. Panchanan Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
NITI Ayog in its strategy document also called for priority establishment of 1,50,000 health and wellness centers under the Ayushman Bharat program by 2022-23 for coverage of affordable primary care. Also pitching for reform in the health sector, NITI Ayog sought increase in the public funding of health to at least 2.5% of the GDP as envisaged in the National Health Policy 2017. It called for strengthening the Village Health Sanitation and Nutrition Day platform to cover a broader set of health issues across various population groups instead of only focusing on child health. The think tank recommended a hike in the taxes on tobacco, alcohol and sweetened beverages and suggested that yoga be made regular activity in school to encourage healthy choices and behaviors. On to the other top story this afternoon. Former Congress leader Sajjan Kumar, sentenced to life imprisonment in the 1984 anti-Sikh riots, has sought 30 days time to surrender. The court is likely to hear his application tomorrow. Earlier this week, Sajjan Kumar was convicted by the Delhi High Court and given time till 31st of December to surrender after it reversed the trial court's order acquitting him in the case. The court had also slapped a fine of 5 lakh rupees on him in the case, and Sajjan Kumar then resigned from the primary membership of the Congress party in a letter to party President Rahul Gandhi after being convicted and sentenced in the case. And RJD Chief Lalu Prasad has been granted bail in 2 IRCTC scam cases filed by the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate. The court directed both the CBI and ED to file their replies to Prasad's application, seeking a regular bail in both the cases. The cases relate to alleged irregularities in granting operational contract of 2 IRCTC hotels to a private firm. The court had earlier granted regular bail to the other accused, Rabri Devi and Tejashwi Yadav, in the CBI case, while they are on an interim bail in the ED matter. Lalu Prasad was produced before a Delhi court through video conferencing today from a Ranchi jail, where he is serving a sentence in the fodder scam, as he was unable to come due to health reasons. And 2 days after being sworn in, the Congress government in Rajasthan has waived off loans taken by the state's farmers at a cost of 18,000 crore rupees on the exchequer. Short-term crop loans from cooperative banks and loans of up to 2 lakh rupees taken by the farmers from other banks have also been waived off. The waiver will apply to loans taken up to 30th of November. Congress President Rahul Gandhi also tweeted the announcement on his official Twitter handle.
तमाम जो कोऑपरेटिव बैंक के लोन हैं, उन तमाम लोन को पिछली सरकार ने जिस प्रकार से वादा खिलाफी करी है कि एक तरफ हम 50,000 तक के कर्जे माफ़ करेंगे और सिर्फ 2,000 करोड़ पहले चुकाया है, जब ये 8,000 का भार आने वाला था उनके ऊपर, तो 6,000 करोड़ तो छोड़ दिया हमारे बीच। तब भी हमने तमाम तय किया कि 50,000 के बजाय समस्त लोन माफ करेंगे।
And several complaints have been filed against Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Kamal Nath in Bihar for his remark on the influx of migrant workers in the state. A social activist in Muzaffarpur lodged a complaint for insulting the people of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, and another complaint has been filed in West Champaran district, alleging that Kamal Nath's remark could have an adverse effect on the sovereignty and integrity of the nation. Kamal Nath, remember, on Monday had said that locals in his state are deprived of jobs due to migrants from Bihar and Uttar Pradesh getting jobs. The issue was also raised in Parliament yesterday, where the MPs accused Kamal Nath of inciting hatred against the people of one state with another. Meanwhile, facing flack over his migrant comment from several leaders, Kamal Nath said that other states, including Gujarat, also have policies favouring employment to locals.
मेरा लक्ष्य, मेरा उद्देश्य था, और ये सब जगह है, अन्य प्रांतों में ये है। मैं कौन सी नई बात कर रहा हूँ, सब अन्य प्रांतों में, गुजरात में क्या है, सब जगह अन्य प्रांतों में है कि लोकल लोगों को प्रेफरेंस मिलना चाहिए।
And India has reiterated its support to usher in a new era of peace and stability in the Korean peninsula. South Korean Foreign Minister Kang Kyung-wha and External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj held a meeting in New Delhi on Wednesday. The visiting dignitary urged India to pursue North Korea to destroy its nuclear weapons. India is one of the few countries that has an embassy in North Korea. In the meeting, the two leaders also shared the view that terrorism in all its forms and manifestations is a global scourge and resolved to combat it through coordinated regional and global efforts. Both the sides also agreed to raise the quantum of the bilateral trade to $50 billion by the year 2030.
Foreign Minister Gang and I reviewed the follow-up action on decisions taken during President Moon's visit to India and explored some new possibilities. We noted a number of tangible progress made in the fields of defense, economic engagement, consular matters, and other areas of our functional cooperation.
On the international news now, the United States has slapped fresh sanctions on 12 Russian individuals and entities for their alleged interference in the US 2016 presidential election and the attempted assassination of a former double agent in the UK. According to the US State Department, these people were involved in attempts to interfere in the 2016 US elections, cyber-enabled attempts to undermine international organizations, and the brazen use of a chemical weapon in an assassination attempt in the UK. As a result of this action, any person determined to knowingly engage in a significant transaction with any of these persons will be booked under the US laws. According to the US State Department, the sanctions undertaken are a part of an aggressive stand against the irresponsible acts directed by the Russian government. And the US Federal Reserve raised the interest rates on Wednesday. The rate hike, which is the fourth of this year, lifted the target rate for the Fed's benchmark lending rate by 0.25 percentage point to a range of 2.25% to 2.5%. The decision to raise the borrowing cost again is likely to anger US President Donald Trump, who has repeatedly attacked the central banks tightening this year as damaging to the economy. The hike was as expected, but US Federal Reserve forecast fewer hikes next year and signaled its tightening cycle is nearing an end in the face of financial market volatility and slowing global growth. The central bank said that the US economy has been growing at a strong rate and the job market has continued to improve. It, however, noted that some further gradual rate hikes would be needed. Meanwhile, stocks in Asia went marginally lower after the US Federal Reserve raised the interest rates. And the US administration says that the American troops are being withdrawn from Syria after the president said that the Islamic State group had been defeated. Both the Pentagon and the White House statement said that the US had started returning its troops home as the transition to the next phase of this campaign begins. Some 2,000 troops have helped rid much of the northeastern Syria of the Islamic State terror group, but pockets of fighters still remain. Washington began air raids in Syria in 2014, a year before US ground troops moved to fight the Islamic State group and train Syrian rebels in the war-ravaged country. Syria's civil war began in 2011 and has killed hundreds of thousands of people, displaced around 22 million population there. And pulling troops out of Syria had long been promised by President Donald Trump. Now, Russia says that withdrawing US troops from Syria has created prospects for a political settlement. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Midday News. Thanks for watching.